In today's video, we're going to take a look at the new Marantz SR Series home theater receiver lineup. We'll talk about all the great features they share, and then we'll get into what you get as you move up the line. If you want to read more about the new SR Series from Marantz, be sure to click the link in the description to be taken to our full written comparison on audiovice.com. Along with this comparison, you'll also find hundreds of other reviews, comparisons, buyer's guides, and much more. So let's get started. It was back in 1953 when Saul Marantz launched his company from a tiny space in his basement. He was dissatisfied with the sound of all the equipment around at that time, and so he was determined to design gear with a more musical sound. From that early launch, Marantz has grown on to be one of the most respected companies ever in the audio world. For Marantz, the DNA of Saul Marantz still lives strong, as it's all about the sound. They back this up with their 2-channel Ruby reference series that is a tribute to the early Marantz stereo products. When you make 2-channel gear that pushes $10,000 a unit, you do tend to learn a few things that you can filter down into more affordable products, which is one reason the Marantz home theater receivers sound so good. Let's dive in and talk about all the features they all share. You'll get the latest video tech with the new SR series. All are HDMI HDCP 2.3 certified. They work with Dolby Atmos and they're ISF certified. All of them are also capable of HDMI 2.1, which gives you the ability to connect up future 8K gaming consoles. HDMI 2.1 supports a higher frame rate that will improve the gaming experience. They also all support eARC, which has the ability to send Dolby Atmos back down an HDMI cable from your TV. If you're one of the lucky ones out there and you already have an 8K TV, this would allow you to watch the 8K resolution content that's showing up on YouTube, and you'd also get audio over to your receiver in full Dolby Atmos. The bottom line is these new models are as future-proof as anything out there. They all share lots of audio features. You'll find every model has Dolby Atmos and DTS-X. One feature Marantz has added this year we really like is the ability to do 2 room correction memories. All of the Marantz receivers have Audyssey, which is a great system to fix room acoustic problems. With 2 of these, you could have one set up around a single listening position and another for a large group. Or another option might be with your blinds, closed or open. Marantz included Dolby Atmos height virtualization this year on all SR models, which simulates height speakers. If you want to stream music, you'll find it very easy with all of the Marantz models as they have Heos built in, which has almost all the major streaming services: Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, AirPlay 2, and Spotify Connect. Also, they're all Roon tested for those of you who have discovered this very cool management system. Wi-Fi streaming supports high-resolution audio formats as well. Another feature we are really happy to see this year is their ability to transmit audio to a set of Bluetooth headphones for private TV listening. Finally, all of the SR receivers have a moving magnet phono preamp for your vinyl playback system. If you're into voice control, the new Marantz SR models will allow you to use Google, Alexa, or Siri. They also all have their own app, so you can just control them from your smartphone or a tablet. All of these models also have CEC control, which means your TV's remote control could control the volume, mute, and power on your Marantz. This works especially well if you're using the apps in your TV and the eARC or audio return channel HDMI connection. All the new SR receivers use high-quality caps in the amplifier section. Marantz has custom ELNA caps made for them that are larger and beefier. The caps store energy for peak power demands. The sound benefit is much better dynamics and bass impact. The power amp sections also use all discrete output devices instead of digital chip amps. They sound far more natural and smooth than chip type amps. If you look back at some pictures of early Marantz gear from the 50s and the 60s, you'll see where Marantz pulled their retro styling for these receivers. We love the round center display flanked by 2 big knobs. Now let's take a look at each of the 4 models to help you understand the benefits as they might relate to your home theater system. The SR5015 home theater receiver gives you 6 HDMI inputs with 2 outputs. One of the HDMI inputs will accept an 8K signal. You get 7 onboard powered channels which can be configured for a 5-channel surround system with a powered Zone 2 or a full 7-channel surround system in either a 5.2.2 with 2 Dolby Atmos speakers or 7.2 with mains, surrounds, and rears. There are preamp outs for all the channels should you wish to add more power later, as well as preamp outs for Zone 2 if you're using all 7 channels for your home theater. If you notice the point 2, yes, the SR5015 has 2 independent subwoofer outputs, which is pretty cool. The SR5015 comes with Audyssey Multi-EQ XT, which measures up to 8 positions in your room to optimize the audio for your specific room. We also like Audyssey Dynamic Volume, which is great to turn on when you're watching TV with loud commercials that blast in and makes everything much more even in the output. The SR5015 weighs in at over 22 pounds, so you can tell it's got a pretty beefy power supply. Each amplifier channel is rated at 100 watts per channel across the whole spectrum at a low distortion figure, so we view their specs as honest and not deceiving like some we are seeing these days. They also specify the 100 watts per channel only happens with 2 channels driven and can drop by 30% when all the channels are being driven, which is a great honest spec. For someone who is not going to go beyond 7 channels in their system, the SR5015 would be a great choice. It has that classic warm Marantz sound with the ability to provide you with full decoding for 7 channels. However, if you thought that later down the road you might want to expand the speakers in your home theater beyond 7, you would not be able to do that with the SR5015 as it does not have any more decoding capabilities or outputs on board beyond 7 channels. We think the SR6015 is the best value in the whole lineup. You get 7 HDMI inputs and 2 outputs with 1 8K input. Power is only 10 watts more per channel than the SR5015, but the big deal on the SR6015 is its decoding capabilities, extra powered channels, and a big jump in Audyssey. The SR6015 has 9 powered channels on board, and it also has decoding for 7.2.4 channels built in. For many rooms, your most immersive bang for the buck is to go with a 5.1.4 configuration with 2 pairs of Atmos speakers. The SR6015 can power this right out of the box. Should you later decide to add another pair of rears, the decoding and preamp outs are built in. All you would need to do is add a small 2-channel power amp, and this is why we feel it is such a great value with these future-proofing outputs. For those of you who enjoy multi-channel SACD, you'll be really happy to know the SR6015 gives you a 7.1 input for your SACD player. The SR1615 adds more surround sound features with IMAX Enhance, and since we are really into room correction at AudioVice, we love the fact that the SR6015 steps up to the Audyssey Multi-EQ XT32. You can do the same up to 8 measurement points as the SR5015, but the Audyssey processing is improved for better correction. The bigger deal about Multi-EQ XT32 though is the fact that it has Audyssey Sub EQ HD, which lets you fine-tune each subwoofer independently. From a sound perspective, the SR6015 sounds very similar to the SR5015, which is just fantastic. When you add in the extra 2 channels, 11.2 channels of processing, and the better Audyssey, we feel this one is easily one of the best receivers on the market for your money. When you look at the specs on the SR7015 and compare it to the SR6015, they really look pretty similar, and they are. The SR7015 adds 1 more HDMI input and a 3rd zone, but otherwise the 2 units are very similar from a capability standpoint. The reason you get the SR7015 is its much better amplifier section. Marantz paid special attention to the power supply, caps, and output devices in the SR7015 to give it an even warmer sound and far more dynamic impact. Even though both of these units have 9 powered channels and the output difference is only 15 watts per channel, the SR7015 is almost 10 pounds heavier due to the much more massive power amps that are built in. While the SR6015 is still what we feel is the best value, the extra $700 in cost for the SR7015 will get you far better quality audio. If you have the speakers capable of good dynamics and resolution, you will definitely appreciate the step up in audio quality the SR7015 offers. Marantz has pulled out all stops for their top-of-the-line receiver. Like the SR7015, It's mostly about a big step up in sound, but also adds a few features as well. First, this is one beast of a home theater receiver, weighing in at over 40 pounds due to its very large power transformer that sits right in the middle of the unit. All of the top-of-the-line Ruby Marantz gear is made in Japan, where they also manufacture the SR8015. Like the SR8105, you get 8 HDMI inputs and 2 outs, with one of the inputs being 8K capable. Power is rated at 140 watts per channel, but with its big reserves, the SR8015 has pretty amazing dynamics. You also get 11 powered channels built in with decoding for up to 13 with full preamp outputs for all channels for those of you who might want to go to 7.2.6 or 9.2.4 with just the addition of a 2-channel amp. How well a surround sound processor tracks all those great surround effects and precisely places them in your room has a lot to do with the power of the internal processor. Marantz developed new processors for their $4,500 separate home theater processor, the AV8805. These same exact Griffin Light dual-core Shark DSP chips are used in the SR8015, giving incredible tracking of surround sound effects for a better immersive experience. And not only is the power amp section much more massive, the preamp section has many upgraded parts that give it a better signal-to-noise ratio with improved focus and a wider soundstage. It also has far better bass and transient attack characteristics, pulling you in closer to the original sound. If you want great audio and the capability to go up to 13 channels of immersive home theater sound, the SR8015 has it all. We hope this overview of the new Marantz SR lineup will help you make your home theater receiver buying decision a little easier. As always, if you have any questions about any of these, give us a call, chat with one of our experts at audioadvice.com, or just stop into one of our Raleigh or Charlotte, North Carolina showrooms. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on the latest home audio and home theater content. We'll see you guys next time.